Yeah, it's all rights reserved on the P's and Q's. The greatest nation since what? United Nations. We back at this. Let's talk about this. Unruly behavior and the unnatural forces of truth. What in the world is this guy talking about? Let me clue you into something. Let me enlighten your minds a bit. Okay? Now, I get people want to behave how they want, do whatever they want, but they got to understand there's certain things that go around it. You could do whatever you want, but if you infringe upon the rights of others to also do as they want, that's when it leads to a certain era of distaste, disdain, however you want to put it. But see, doing what you want does not mean infringing upon the freedom, the safety, and existence of another human being. That is key. So doing what you want has limits, right? Now, if we're going to think about these same limits, we have to think about this. The unnatural forces of truth. There has been a lot of unnatural things occurring, whether it's phrases, conversations, anything that a person speaks on that alludes to other things. Through this exact nature, we have begun to understand things dealing with a person that has not shown themselves much. If you guys didn't know, on reddit.com, now I'm not a Reddit fan, but I went on there and I read some very interesting things about the XxxTentacion. Now, I'm TheCzarr. I've been reading things on there, but I read one in particular thing, commenter that showed me it. Shout to you. Put your name below. You can let us know what it is. Let us know. Because there was an unnatural understanding of events, and it linked up to another situation that happened prior I had briefly mentioned. And it happened to involve the same person who was also on that police report. So now here's what my problem is. Yeah, we briefly touched down with the investigator, who was a little freaked out by the way things occurred. I don't know yet about involvement of anything. I don't know who could have been involved. I don't know that. What I do know is it was a funny style situation. I'm looking at the friends around that had affiliations with this person. I'm looking at the fact that this person, before the demise, was allegedly at the place or at a place with X. And then I'm looking at friendships around. Am I wrong for that? Because I'm looking at female friendships around that I didn't know they knew people. But that is how that other person would know that this person was in the midst of someone else and something could have happened that upset that person. Now, am I wrong for thinking that way? Oh, I'm wrong? Let me get a bit deeper for you then. So you get the train of thought. So you don't just think, oh, he's just talking. No. In that same report, it led to a situation where, in the report, their times didn't match up of them arriving at a place. So that alone is telling to me. If I was doing an investigation, I was like, wait, that doesn't make sense. I would have harped on that. I would have had to have proof you were somewhere else verbatim you said you were before I let that topic slide. That's another point that is not being looked into in depth. Let's get a bit deeper. Here we go. So if I'm going to conclude that you told me you were whatever, why didn't you show receipt proof of where you were? Because there's receipt proof of when someone checked in, but there wasn't receipt proof of prior engagements or places. That's very funny to me. Investigators that did it, that's not funny to you? I know you watch. That ain't funny to you. Okay? Since, no, we did it right. Let me get a bit deeper. Since you want to say, oh, we don't mess up. How come there were two people that left from the place and only one person ended up needing a ride? How did they get in the car? Or why were they escorted versus the other person? Or is that other person allegedly missing too? Here's where we are now. Where's that other female? I'm just curious. I was looking, the nickname, and potential nicknames bring out real names, and we did that. I'm not seeing a correlation of where this other person is. Now, if they're still out around and getting down with it, that's cool. But I'd like to know why they left separately and not together, as the normality would be, right? Wouldn't they leave together? They're leaving. Interesting. Now, if I would match that up, there was a other earlier live stream where we spoke of individuals that were missing prior to the situation we're dealing with now, to the fact that people went missing altogether. Is this not true? Is this all a lie? I would like some answers, because if this is the case, this is beginning to match up to something else I'm seeing. Yes, this scenario's matching up to something else I seen. That was a totally different case that I seen only one person was arrested when I know 3 people were inside the vehicle. You are dealing with a professional. I'm just going to tell you up that. You're dealing with... Now, I don't know why these guys did the case the way they did. I don't know how they missed these factors. But I'm telling you, if I had to do it, I would have been on the ball. Dog, let you go. I would have. I'm like, come on. Who are you playing with? Wait, before I continue, does anyone, any woman, any man, hit the dislike button? I'm going to say that. If you co-sign the abuse or the neglect of the opposite sex, I'm objective here. Do you condone that? How about the outright violence of them? Do you condone it? If any of you said yes, and you said, I condone that, I condone doing stuff to a girl, I condone, if any of you condone that, leave. Because you're not going to like me. You won't like me. I'm not your guy. I'm not your friend. Because I know thousands of more men and women that do not condone that type of behavior. I don't know what's wrong with these people. Who raised you? Stop playing with me. And I'm going to tell you right now that if it has led to any criminal matter and you have ran on your feet, ran from the scene, you're a coward. You're just a coward. I mean, some of these situations I'm looking at allegedly involve minors. What's going on? Hey, what's up, Broward County? Now I'm talking to you. What's going on? You can, bust a black man, but you can't bust a black man that's allegedly hurting minors or a minority. You can't deal with that situation. No, I'm going to ask. We don't make accusations here. I'm going to ask. Did any of the law-related people, did any of you participate in anything that I'm looking at? I'm going to ask that right now. Because before I go forward with these names, I'm asking you, did any of you participate? Did any of you get cheeks at one of these instances for letting someone go? Did any of you join these parties? I'm asking you now. This is your career. Some of you got a family. Did any of you join in this? Any of you? Without checking an ID that you could have allegedly been with the minors? Because if someone comes forward, I'm going to let them speak. If they come forward and say, this officer or this person messed with me, I was under 18, I'm going to let them speak. And I'm going to send everything down to your precinct. Let me ask this. Did any of you that is in a lawful situation mess with one of your co-workers' daughter? The unnatural forces of truth begin to reveal themselves when a picture is not made clean in justice, but made clean in a manner to hide or disclose something. Disclosure. You're to protect and serve, not to serve yourself and protect your name and injustice. All rights reserved.